And I feel like I totally forgot to turn the light on.
We don't got enough light in here.
It's like, wait a second, something's missing.
I saw the light. Oh.
Okay, that was funny. Oh, someone please clip that. Someone please put that sound I just made and make it a meme. That's what it is.
Yours had just like a little nasal to it.
Welcome to the Dishes Can Wait podcast. Join us at our table for thoughtful, funny conversations that flow so easily you'll forget to check the time. We hope you feel like a welcomed guest in our home, part of a circle of friends who linger after dinner for the stories, the laughter, and the kind of connection that makes the hours slip away unnoticed. Because the dishes can wait, but good conversation can't.
Okay. Are you situated?
Yes, Erin. Please ask a question. But before is this the question that you were going to ask? Like that we talked about, but we didn't talk about?
Yes.
But I would like the public to know that you asked me if I wanted to know what this question was going to be, and I said no.
You did. You did
I
say
said
that.
no.
You didn't want to prepare.
I didn't want to prepare.
You wanted to go Aaron style.
Mm-hmm. So let's see how this goes.
So the question I was going to ask you, it's like a really big question though. Like like last episode.
What?
It's not last episode.
It was one of the episodes.
It was the episode that just came out.
Which is episode 3.
Episode 3, you talked about how you can make everything existential.
Yes. Okay.
And so this isn't necessarily an existential question, but of course you could make it existential. But I just mean you're going to have a very layered, nuanced answer to my question.
Okay, yeah.
But my question is, you would describe yourself as a creative, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. So the question I'm going to ask is, what is your creative process? Did you see the eyes? Oh, man.
Also, I have something in my eye
Those
that is driving
eyes
me
just shot to the
bonkers.
ceiling.
Okay.
What's your creative process? Actually, let's ask another question first. How many playlists do you have for your creative process?
I'm like
plus or minus 10.
in the best way.
Plus or minus 10.
Probably minus 10.
But it's close.
I don't know. It depends. Okay. First of all, we need to define like
Gravity.
What specific.
Nope.
You just want to know because in my head there's different categories. So there's like writing.
This is the nuance.
There's like if I want to go build something out in the garage, that's a completely different process than writing. If I like,
do you have a general blueprint though? Obviously, the steps are going to be a little bit different,
okay.
But I feel like you probably have like ambiance is going to be part of that.
Mm-hmm.
Sound is going to be part of that, like that kind of thing.
Sometimes smell,
right? Very sensory aspect.
Okay, I'm going to work on articulating this in the most clear way possible. Okay. Playlist questions. Yes, I do. And it depends on the vibe that I'm going for because I am about vibes. If I'm working on something like writing or something where I need to really focus on words or it's going to be instrumental. Instrumental music. I cannot have
competing words.
It will break my brain. Even sometimes. So one of those instrumental, sort of, there's some that have singing in it, is my overtures playlist, which is overtures from shows. I had to explain to our children what overtures was. Mm-hmm. They came in and saw that playlist and they're like, what's an overture? And I'm like, sit down, children. Let me tell you what an overture is.
Lesson 1.
So some of those do have singing. I move them to the very end though, and if I'm not in a brain space, I just skip over it. There's another one where I found just random. I found it through like TikTok and Instagram, like sounds or songs on there. I'm like, oh, I like that song. I go and I find it and I put it on a playlist. And some of those have vibes. Like one of them's more like folksy.
Does that mean some songs don't have vibes? Like, are there vibeless songs?
No, they're just different. Like they're all the songs are wearing
You
clothes.
said some songs have vibes.
All the songs are wearing clothes, but they're all different outfits
In different seasons. Fall, spring, winter.
Right. This metaphor is getting complicated. Some of them are more folksy. If I want like a folksy, like I'm feeling it. I don't even know how to articulate it. That's the only word I know is folksy. Like, but I'm hearing it in my head and it's making me. There's one that I just made that has like more of has like a French vibe, and I'm like, that's a good one for writing because I feel like I'm in a cafe in Paris and
With
I'm
a
just
baguette.
like, yes, a croissant.
I'll beg it.
My apologies for my French accent. I think that's the second time I've had to apologize for my French accent in these, but it's fine. Okay. I feel like I've already been talking about this for a very long time.
And that's just the music.
And that's just the music. Okay, creative process. So I always say inside of me there are two wolves. There's an ADHD wolf and an autistic wolf. Wolf. And the ADHD wolf, she will get an idea and she will go running with it and focus on it for 2 days straight without eating, showering, going to the bathroom. And that one has become more. I'm pointing because I'm excited. Has become not more rare, but less accessible the older I've become. Like I don't have that kind of energy and capacity the way I used to.
Kind of like achy bones.
Yeah. I creak a lot
Sometimes
more.
you get up and you're like, oh, my body hurts, which is
Yeah.
most days. And then some days you go, I got a nice walk in me. And that's your creative process kicking
Yeah,
in.
but instead of like a walk, it's like, you know what? I think I'm going to run a marathon today. It's not a breezy walk. It's like, I'm going to go 26 miles. And I'm like,
Point two.
and I'm, 2 miles in and I'm like, oh shit, I'm not trained for a marathon. And I'm like, well, I'm in it now. And so that is that wolf. The other wolf is the autistic wolf, which is much more, especially now that I'm older and I'm
She's especially more what?
unmasking. She's more
Is that the
slow.
end of the sentence?
No,
I can't tell if you're done.
remember, I didn't know this question was coming. And so it takes me a second to think and gather my words. Okay. She's more slow in her process. Like she thinks about it a lot more. And the more I've unmasked and the more I've accepted myself, that's the one that's running the show. And so, but my creative process usually looks like I marinate on something for a while before I do something about it. Because I know my mental and physical resources are limited. I want to make sure that I put my energy in the most fruitful place I feel is right for the moment. And if it ends up being, a dud or whatever, it's all about the process. Creativity is all about the process, not the result. And I could start preaching here. So I marinate a lot. And then once I'm in it, it consumes me. What is your creative process?
Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing? We are all created in the
you're
image.
right.
And therefore we all
In the image
have
of the universe. We are all the universe experiencing.
You taught me that.
itself.
You have taught me and tried to convince me that we all have some sort of creativity in us, but that may look different, right? So like somebody coming up with random songs, which I
you are
do,
very good at.
you would call creative.
Yes.
So you're asking me what my creative
Yeah,
process
or
is.
what is it? What is it? What? Okay, I want to start with this. You said it's taken me convincing you that you have creativity in you. How has that manifested in your life? Like, how has that become something that's true for you?
So I started it and I said, you would call yourself a creative, right? That is like in the DNA of who Hannah is. I don't feel that way for me, but that doesn't mean I don't have creative bones.
Gotcha.
So I think that I can be creative in play and humor. I think I can be it that way. I think that I can be creative in ways that relationally connecting. I think that I can be creative in my therapeutic counseling approach. I think I can be creative in the kitchen. But when you, so that's how I would say it's manifested. But the question about what is your approach, I don't think I have one. Because I don't know if I don't want to say ever, it just seems too extreme. But the fact that I'm leaning that direction tells you I'm more that direction. I can't think of times that I go, I'm going to go be creative. And so then therefore create a process for that.
So it's like out of necessity.
I wouldn't say out of necessity. That almost feels like I was forced into it to me. I would say it feels more natural as opposed to I'm going to go lock myself in a closet and create.
Well, that feels natural to me.
I know.
Yeah,
That doesn't feel
that's
natural
so
to me at all. That would feel forced to me.
Yeah,
Because-
that would make sense.
But what I'm saying is like that sentence, I'm going to go create. I don't think I've ever said that in my life. However, you can look back and go, wow, for the last hour, I just created. Right. And so therefore there's not a process going into it. So that's why it's not necessity to me.
Oh, I see what you're saying. And
It's just, I would say it's more like a natural flow. I'm just kind of taking my life that I'm currently doing and making and creating in the midst of that.
this is fascinating because I'm like, I I get that for you. Like that's how you operate. That's the context of what you're saying, and it makes sense. But I'm like, the way I do it is also that, and that's fascinating to me.
You feel like what we said is the same thing?
I
That's
feel
wild to me.
because I'm like, that's how
I feel like they were almost polar opposites.
that's how like, oh, what's the word? Intricate or how like I feel like Danny Rojas from Ted Lasso right now. Like, football is life. I'm like,
you know
creativity is life.
Do you know the first Danny that popped in my head was Danny Trejo, like the actor, the guy who's in like.
Sorry, Danny Trejo, I can't picture who that is. Who is that?
You don't know who that is.
No, who is it?
He's an actor. He was in that movie like Machete. I think that's what it's called.
When I have watched a movie called Machete,
Oh,
0%.
That's what it's.
0%.
And then my other one,
Danny Rojas.
my other one, I thought it was Danny Tanner.
I feel like Danny Tanner, when it
Like,
comes to my creativity, I'm very obsessive about it.
This is a teaching moment.
I like to make it
Michelle.
perfect,
Okay.
which is
Creative. I'll bring
Yeah.
it back. Creativity for you. You feel like Danny Rojas from
Ted Lasso,
Lasso.
where he's like, football is life. I'm like, creativity is life. Like, that's part of what I like, my everyday process I do to live.
Right. That's
Like,
what I meant when I say it's in your DNA. Like,
yeah.
it's,
So therefore, I feel like we're doing the same thing. But yours makes sense for you, and mine makes sense for me. I'm like, does it any of this even make sense? I'm gonna listen back to this and be like, cut the whole thing. Cut the whole thing. I should have prepared. I should have let you tell me what the question was gonna be. No, it's fine. It's fine.
I should have prepared.
We're working on using our voice.
Or being the goo.
And being present and being seen, even if it's not perfect. No, don't say we're being the goo. It's not the goo.
It is.
It's the goo.
It's the goo.
If you don't know what we're talking about, that's from episode 0.
Caterpillarism.
Oh God, that every time I hear it, and I don't think I've articulated it on in front of a microphone to the internet. Every time we say it, I hear the word priapism, and
Caterpillarism.
it reminds me of the time. Wait! I gotta finish that thought.
Oh,
Of the time you got a Google Voice number for work and you were testing it out. So you text me from that number. And this was before, like spam texts, at least that I knew of. Maybe I was super naive, but I responded to this number. I did not know it was Aaron. And you ended up saying, like, what did you say? I can't say it.
I think I said something like,
The internet is watching. I can't say it.
I said something like, hey, you gave me priapism or something like that.
And I was like, Aaron, what does priapism mean? And you just started laughing. And then I looked it up and I was like, oh my God. And then you're just like, it's me. I'm messing with you.
Yeah,
So every time we say
I think
caterpillarism,
we're in different rooms, and I was like, "This is me."
every time we say
Do we need to
caterpillarism,
define priapism, or do we just say
they can Google
users
it.
go Google it? Because my hunch is,
It's a scientific word, so I don't think that
think
you know.
most people know what priapism is.
I mean, maybe look it up in a private browser, depending on your life.
Think of it this way: when those medical commercials come on and they say,
Okay.
if this pill keeps you saluting for more than 1 hour, consult your doctor.
That is priapism.
That's priapism.
Okay. Cool. That's cool. I'm so glad that we're talking
Let's
about
bring
this.
that back.
Okay.
See, every
Even
time
though I brought it up,
every time I say caterpillarism,
I think about that moment.
you think of the Google Voice phone number moment.
Yes.
with
I think about that
priapism.
moment. What is there? Okay, this is maybe a fun rabbit trail. Are there other things like that when you hear them or see them or smell, whatever sensory experience it is, it takes you back to a specific moment in your life, and maybe it has nothing to do with what you're experiencing, but it takes you back somewhere in your history.
I mean, smells do that for me pretty regularly, but I don't think words do. Like the smell of Cinnabon always does that for me. It takes me back to my childhood going through the mall in our local area.
Yeah. There was this scent from Bath and Body Works that I wore from junior high all the way through high school.
Mm-hmm.
And I would get it because I liked it. So I got it from every family member every Christmas. So I wore it all the time. It's Moonlight Path.
Mm-hmm.
And then it went away.
You talked about this recently.
And then you were like, I'm going to order some body wash. Which ones do you want? So I scrolled through and I was like, oh, they have Moonlight Path. And it was like in a movie, just right. Like I saw my past flash before my eyes, all those years of that scent.
Yeah, so smells do that for me a lot. Like our daughter's perfumery. Every time I smell that, I'm like, that's my kid.
Mm-hmm. My best friend started wearing it. I was like, you smell like my daughter.
And let's see, Polo Blue
Oh.
reminds you of Colorado, probably.
It took me back to a specific season in my life.
Yeah.
With you. Because, Aaron, when we started dating, you were going to school. You were living in Houston, but you were planning.
But not for long.
But not for long. You were like, I would love to date you, but I'm just like, I'm moving away in a couple of months.
Yeah,
and
I'm
I was
bouncing.
like, okay.
I'll be gone for about a year.
Yeah, you were moving to Colorado to go to school to be a worship pastor. And so we you started dating, spent the summer together. You were leaving in August, but I was like, I'm going to miss you. Can you give me a t-shirt? And you gave me a t-shirt. I put it on a pillow and I sprayed Polo Blue on it because that was your cologne. And I would sleep snuggled up with it every night. And it just brought me so much comfort. But it's
I
like,
still occasionally put on Polo Blue,
do,
just
when
what
you
I'm trying to give you and your feels about reminiscing about our love.
and it's just like that in my, like, we were great. We were good. You were like the beautiful thing in my life in that season. And there were so many things that were not. And so when I smell that cologne, it brings me back to not to the sad stuff, but to like the beauty and hope in the middle of the sad stuff.
Yeah, so other than, I mean, I could keep going on about smells. I'm a big smell guy. You know, smells matter to me. We've talked about that before on prior episodes. That kind of sounds like the word priapism. Prior episodes kind of sounds like the word priapism.
I'm telling you, it's everywhere.
So is priapism. It's a real issue. It's a real issue.
You know what? Men struggle so much.
We don't talk about men's struggles enough. You
Right,
know?
exactly. We need to talk more about the struggles of men.
I mean, it's hard. Oh, that's priapism.
That was so good. So, okay, so talking about sensory stuff and taking us back to a memory or a scene is a good segue to one of the topics I wanted to talk about today, because we're sitting here. The whole concept is we just had a meal together with friends and we're just sitting around the table talking and the time disappears. But what foods instantly feel like home? Like the stories of the dishes that have been or are in your life that are comforting or meaningful to you.
So my answer, I'll go first. I might take a while. As I've talked about, I love smells. So I immediately, when I hear this question, have two answers. The first one I come up with, and these are the categories before I get into the actual foods. Category one is ones that remind me of my childhood home. Like foods that remind me of like our kitchen growing up. There's another one that is like just that remind me of home, like where I live.
Yeah.
Right, like in the general area that I live.
Yeah.
So we'll do both. We'll start with family of origin, home. The foods that remind me of home, there's a few. One would be chicken and rice.
Can you give a brief description of what chicken and rice is?
Right, yeah, chicken and rice is a dish that it can be made one of 14,000 ways, so everybody knew which way I just meant.
Exactly, yeah. What way did you mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's a recipe that my mother used, and she probably had her mother use it, and her mother and her mother.
And it probably
and her
came
mother.
from a church cookbook somewhere.
Probably so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically, cream of mushroom, cream of chicken, butter, seasonings, and chicken, and with some masala wine. You kind of like cook all that together either in a crock pot or on a stove, and you serve it over rice. Hence, chicken and rice, right? But obviously, there's lots of different chicken and rice, so like a chicken and gravy kind of thing. Throw some mushrooms in there a lot of times. So that one reminds me, and it's a meal that we still cook. We still make it in our house today. That one definitely reminds me of my childhood home. The smell of bacon does as well, because like that was one of the best smells, like when you're sleeping in on a Saturday and then all of a sudden you smell bacon.
You're taking me back, yes.
That is woo, girly.
Yeah.
What's also interesting is like I have like pancakes. Pancakes is another one. They would make pancakes a lot. My parents would make pancakes a lot. I also have like certain ones that I think of like this is my childhood home, even though we only made it like once or twice. Like it wasn't made very often, but it was like so monumental to me. Like I remember one time where my dad fried a bunch of shrimp, like deep fried these shrimp in a pot. It's possible he only did this one time, but it was like such a big deal to me.
Oh.
Biscuits is another one. We would do
Was
biscuits.
it because you are such a smell sensory or?
I don't know if it's because, I mean, no, because I don't have the smell of that one in my head right
Oh,
now.
okay.
Maybe it's because it was like a special thing. Like, seafood can be a little bit more expensive. And
Okay.
it was a big ordeal because you can only fry a certain amount of shrimp at a time. So it'd take a long time to do. Oh, I just got two more that I'll share, and then we can go to restaurants if you want. But like biscuits, we would do biscuits a lot. A lot of themes of breakfast here. We would do biscuits, and biscuits the way that we would always do it because my dad did it a certain way.
Yeah.
And I liked it that way. My mom did it another way. My mom would do it with like butter and jam.
Yeah.
My dad would tear it up. And
I know this.
I know you've seen me do this before. I've taught our kids how
Yeah.
to do this.
Yeah.
You tear the biscuit up, you throw some butter in there and syrup.
Yes.
And that is just delicious.
I love that for you.
Last one I'll do, I could keep going, but the last one that I will say is my mom's meatloaf was really good. My dad cooks most of the time growing up, but my mom did the meatloaf, which is just interesting because my mom was very sensory. And so the fact that she would put her hands in meatloaf
Yeah.
is fascinating to me. When I got a little older, if we were going to do the meatloaf, I had to do it. I had to put my hands in there, but meatloaf was another one. So, yeah,
What about-
those are all childhood.
But what about, you said, did you mean restaurants or did you mean like the cultural
So I have
food?
both. I think both.
Of where
I think both.
you live.
So yeah, you're right. So I originally said the culture, but I tie them in together, I think.
Okay.
So when I say home, we live in the greater Houston area. So like Tex-Mex for sure. As a child, that was Papacitos. Mm-hmm. Right. As a child, that was Papacitos or Gringos, or we actually had this other restaurant called Salsas that we used to go to.
Oh yeah. What about Casa Ole? Did
We
you ever
didn't
do
go to
Casa
Casa
Ole?
Ole. I did go to Casa Ole with my
Okay.
grandparents.
Okay.
But Casa Ole wasn't my jam. I don't think I ever chose Casa Ole. My sister would choose.
I'm singing the theme song in my head.
I don't think
Casa Ole.
I don't think I would ever choose Casa Ole. My sister
Okay.
would choose Casa Ole occasionally, but I tend to remember that she got chicken fingers there.
Chicken wheels
Yeah, like
off the kids menu because that's what I got, and I would dip it in queso.
yeah. See, that's not my jam. But like Tex-Mex for sure. Barbecue is another one. When you think childhood, or home, like the city where we live in, and those are different restaurants. You and I were even talking recently how, like, as a child, that restaurant was a restaurant called Luther's. Like, it was like a salon. You'd walk through it. I'd get an IBC root beer
saloon.
with the bottle.
A saloon?
I don't know. I always say salon. Is
I mean, maybe it can.
is
also be
salon
called a
just
salon.
hair? People
Maybe.
are like, what? There's hair everywhere.
I'm not sure, but like a cowboy saloon.
Cowboy saloon. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think they even had like a statue of like a cowboy. Yeah,
I
it's
don't
just a
remember that one.
Very Western. Literal barn doors you push in.
I don't know if I ever went there, but I know we passed it.
Yeah, so Luther's, we have different ones now that we like. So those are the main two that I think of. When I think of what is home food, I think Tex-Mex and barbecue.
Yeah. Like you were talking about your home of origin and things that your parents made. And I actually told your dad, my father-in-law, not that long ago, because we went over and he cooked. He made chili. That's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him that I have had his chili many times, and it always is like slightly different because he doesn't use a recipe. He just kind of like cooks with his heart, but it always tastes like his chili somehow. And I told him, I was like, we've been together 20 years.
Yeah, almost 20 years.
And so his cooking has also become
Like childhood for you almost.
yes, it is a huge part of me, of my memories. I have feelings attached to his cooking, and I told him that. I was like, whenever I have something that you cook, it feels like home. And that is really sweet to me. Because I have before I met you, there are things that are
Oh, I got something for you. I got two for your childhood family of origin.
well, let's see if
they're right.
Let's see if
Should
they're
I
right.
write them down?
No, we'll believe you when you say them.
Okay.
So, this is a like sweet and also sad a little bit. I'm having like a whole I'm having like a whole.
You're having feelings.
I'm having feelings because there are okay. So like my granny would make chicken and dumplings.
Both of them. Both of your grandmothers would make chicken.
It
and
was
dumplings.
mostly my granny.
Okay.
Not my mama so much. My mama would always like, especially when I got my driver's license and I could drive. She'd
Get you some fish.
I'd go visit her in Louisiana, and as soon as I
catfish.
got there, she'd be like, "Get some money out of my purse and go down and catfish hunt and get him some catfish for dinner.
I love your
I really want some catfish. Can you go give me some?"
Keep
That's-
going. I could listen to that lady all day long.
I need to do like a sketch character
She's phenomenal.
with her
She
because
was phenomenal.
you might think I'm exaggerating.
Nope.
I am not exaggerating.
Not
That
even
is
close.
how my mama talked.
How she what?
How she talked. I know. It came out. It came out. I heard it.
You heard it?
I heard it. So hers was
Catfish.
she would make it, but it was mostly catfish from the catfish hut. It was my granny making chicken and dumplings. Sometimes she would make homemade dumplings, but if she just wanted to make it quickly, she would use tortillas. So that's a memory attached to my granny, who was a very comforting, loving presence in my life. And her and my dad were those people for me. And so my dad, bless his heart, is like a steak with the texture of beef jerky. Like he would overcook a steak. And until Aaron and I met, I thought that's how steaks were. I would go to a restaurant. Like we went to a restaurant. The first time I got a steak at a restaurant, they're like, "How do you want it cooked?" And I'm like, "Well done." And you're like, "Oh, no."
No.
You're like, "Trust me." And I was like, "No, I'm getting it well done." So I got it well done. And you're like, "Here, try mine." And it's like medium rare or something.
What did you learn from that moment?
That you knew what you were talking about. And that I don't know what I had been eating my entire life. But it's kind of sweet but sad, but he would do that because he didn't use a thermometer or anything, and he
Right.
just didn't want it to
He didn't want
be
it undercooked.
undercooked, and so he would rather us have to chew on it for 2 hours before
I
us
don't even
get
know.
sick. And also I want to say this: I almost died from raw meat food poisoning
probably
when I was
traumatized.
3. So he was probably traumatized and did not want to be the one responsible for doing that again.
Right.
Not again,
Sure.
but because he wasn't the first one in the first place. But yeah, I almost died. And so I can put myself in his shoes. And also it's just like endearing now.
I don't know if digital thermometers existed back
Maybe
then.
they, or maybe
Like you said he
like,
didn't use one, but I don't know if they had them.
well, they probably had like it's like a circle with a stick on it. Like you would see in a fridge or a freezer.
I feel like maybe I've seen something like that, but I don't think
Okay.
I've ever seen anybody use it on a grill. That's probably normal. I don't know.
I don't know. So there's that. There's also a hot dog surprise. Was this one of the ones you were going to talk about?
Your dad's grilling was one of the ones I was going to talk
Okay,
about.
yeah.
I wasn't going to talk about just steaks, but your dad's grilling because I had your dad's grill many times.
And also,
and
okay.
towards the end, like when we would, we used to go over there some, and he would bring me out there and be like, "You think it's done? You think it's done? You think it's done?" I'm like,
Also-
I'm like, "It's done. You can pull." He's like, "You sure?" I don't know. We might need to keep it on there a little bit longer.
Another 5 minutes.
Another 5 minutes.
Another 5 minutes goes by. He's like, "Oh, maybe just another 2." But also grilling. I have wonderful memories of my dad grilling because it was one of the few times that I remember my parents working as a team.
Yep.
And so she would be
Sides.
or she would prep the stuff.
Oh.
She would prep all the meat.
Like marinate
And he
it
would
and-
like check in with, is it ready? She's like, 5 minutes. He's like, okay, I got it was like they were a team.
Yeah.
That was the only time I experienced any sort of camaraderie between them. So that's also probably why grilling in my home of origin is sentimental to me.
Hot dog surprise. You
Hot
said
dog surprise. Thank you. Hot dog surprise is,
It's a fancy.
listen up, Bobby Flay. Hot dogs, and it doesn't have to be beef. It could be like
It probably wasn't.
it could be generic gray hot dogs.
Ray?
Gray.
Ray?
You know.
No. That's how you got E. coli. No. Gray hot dogs.
Hot dogs. You get a baking
Yeah,
dish.
those little ballpark franks.
9 by 13 baking
Oscar
dish.
Mayer.
You put those suckers in the bottom of a baking dish.
There's like 8 of them.
And then you get your box of potato flakes.
Bob Mays. Oh, potato flakes.
Potato flakes. And you make you some mashed potatoes out of a box. And then you spread those taters all over those hot dogs. And then you get yourself some cheese wrapped in plastic. Cracking myself up.
Like American cheese
American cheese.
wrapped in plastic.
And
yeah.
you cover it. You make sure.
It's not even cheddar. I was thinking it was cheddar.
No, it's American cheese. It's the plastic stuff. And you cover every square inch of the top of that, and then you put that sucker in the oven for like 15, 20 minutes. You pull it out. Surprise. Hot dog surprise. But what was
That's it. 3
But-
ingredients.
but you had to eat it right away, or else, oh my God. Oh, this is why I hate cheese. Or I love cheese, but I hate the texture of cheese.
Bringing it back.
It's because if you don't eat it right away, it turns back into plastic and it gets hard and you have to like cut it with a knife to get to your hot dog.
Nope. Nope. I wonder if you used actual American cheese versus the processed stuff, if that
Like
would
if
do
you
that
used
way.
real cheese. Yes, I think that would be a much different experience.
Turn back into plastic. Have to
But-
use a knife to cut through sliced
But
American cheese.
As a kid, I loved that.
Did you put anything on it, like ketchup or Tabasco sauce or anything?
Sometimes the taters might have needed some salt and pepper, but green beans and barbecue sauce. I loved that. Like I would mix my green beans in barbecue sauce. Mwah.
I have another one that reminds you of home.
Okay, and then I want to talk about my restaurants. Okay, what is
That's
it?
fine. I have one of each for you.
What?
I have one that reminds you of home and then one that's a restaurant. So the one of home is pot roast.
Oh shoot, yeah. And vegetable soup, like with
Yeah,
stew
like-
meat
like
in it.
Beef, vegetable soup, and everything like that.
Yes, I love a pot roast.
And pot roast. That one does
You're
remind you of childhood home,
right. That was a Sunday, like we would do a Sunday roast.
which I've had both of those, and they're both
Oh.
really good.
I'm feeling it. Like
Yeah.
we're talking about it taking you
I'm gonna
back.
have to add those onto the rotation.
Okay, I
soon.
want to say right. Okay, we're meal planning. We're just meal planning.
Can I
in
say
front
one
of
of
you.
yours like restaurants before
I-
before you go?
You want to do it before I go?
I just want to do one. Can I just do just one? Just one.
Okay.
Starts with the word the. Was that on your list?
No, it wasn't.
It should be.
Okay.
Okay, I'll let you go first then. But now that you know what mine is,
I know
you
what
won't
you're gonna
say
say.
it. So, okay.
Okay. So it is like Tex-Mex is a cultural thing where we grew up and where we live. It is, I mean, it's part of the diet and it's part of the culture.
Part of the diet.
It's part of the
Really
diet.
is. Like,
Like-
you don't eat queso, salsa, and guac and fajitas.
You know, I could go to like Missouri, whatever, and get queso and guac. And
Nope.
no, I can't.
No, you can't.
No, I can't.
Mm.
It's not real everywhere else. Except
Isn't that weird?
it is so weird.
Because I ordered fajitas. I'm like,
That's not right.
what the
This isn't-
fajita is this?
What the fajita is this? And so it is very like that is so comforting. Like going to a Mexican restaurant, getting some fajitas,
Oh, girl.
chips and queso, guacamole, a margarita.
A margarita, I was thinking that,
if
a
I really
margarita.
like, if I really
Frozen on the
need a drink
rocks.
because I don't drink a lot,
Frozen, not on the rocks.
I'm having.
You're
I'm
going to
having
get
some time.
sugar, not salt. Oh, man, I'm going to get salt. What else?
So, I mean, people might not know like the restaurants, but like I said, Casa Ole, that was one of ours, and that felt fancy. There's also this place called Monterey's, and they would bring out this giant sombrero, and you had to pick out a toy from the rim of the sombrero. That was one of my favorite things.
Okay.
And we didn't really do Papacitos was like
It's fancy.
fancy.
Yeah. And it's loud.
Like here's how I felt a Mexican restaurant was fancy is if the fajitas came with melted butter.
Oh,
Because
that's how I thought it too. That's why I liked. That's
if
why I
the
liked
fajitas came with melted butter, you know you're in a glitzy place.
glitzy.
Glitzy. Yeah, that's for rich people.
That's like the most swankified place in town.
Right. That was for rich people. And barbecue. Yeah, it's Tex-Mex and barbecue. And our go-to barbecue place was always Gabby's. So,
Gabby's.
So, okay, you can say the one that you.
The Cracker Barrel.
The Cracker Barrel. It's not just Cracker Barrel. It's the Cracker Barrel.
The Cracker Barrel. Does the Cracker Barrel remind you of home?
It reminds me of. It's strange because there's like chapters that restaurants are attached to, and that chapter doesn't begin until I met you.
But we're talking about home. Like, you're my home.
You're my home.
Coconut pound cake.
There's a coconut pound cake in my play that I wrote. It's like a whole, not a theme, but it's a thread throughout the play.
It's layered through there.
Because it's to me it's Southern, and my play isn't explicitly Southern, but it's Southern coded, and like crepe myrtles and mockingbirds and coconut pound cakes. So yes, that's the Cracker Barrel. It reminds me of home cooking, but it doesn't necessarily remind me of home.
When you say home, in this case, are you talking about your childhood home? Are you talking about your house right here? Or
Home
are you talking
cooking. Okay,
about
when I say home cooking,
Houston?
when I say home cooking, I mean Southern.
Right.
And my family is very Southern. And the dishes at Cracker Barrel are very Southern. So it reminds me of home in the context of like that bigger, like Southern, Southernness
I'll
of
give you
home.
an example. So like Whataburger. Whataburger reminds me of home.
That reminds me of the location of home.
That's what I'm talking about. That's part of home, though. Like, what is home? That's what. Go back to the original question. That is home.
They feel different to me though.
Like,
Whataburger doesn't feel
Shipley's
Southern.
Donuts is home.
That's Houston home.
Which is home.
But Cracker Barrel is like bigger than that. It's
not
like
to
a
me.
whole cultural thing, which
Okay.
I'm also connected to because of my ancestry and my roots and all that.
Here's your order. Here's your
Okay.
order. You're gonna get.
I bleh because I don't.
You don't want to go there. Chicken
Southern
fried chicken.
can be very negative too.
Chicken fried
It is.
chicken, mashed potatoes and gravy, fried okra and green beans because you think the green beans are cooked with bacon.
I think, or they're supposed to be.
No, you think those specifically
'Cause they are.
You think those specifically are.
They are cooked with bacon.
Like bacon grease, though. Like,
Bacon flavor.
there's
or
no
something.
bacon in there, though.
Is there?
No.
Maybe.
There's
Maybe
no
it's just
chunks of bacon.
grease, but
Right.
the flavor of bacon.
And you always call it like green bean bacons. Bacon green beans.
Bacon green beans.
Boom, son. I was thinking, I said my dad did all the cooking, and that is still accurate. My mom did baking, though. And she still does. My mom did all the baking.
Yeah.
Like her chocolate cake, right? So good. She's got great brownies. Actually, my dad does brownies. My mom doesn't do the brownies. But she's got like a
funny?
blonde brownie that's really good.
Isn't that funny how we kind of like fit into our very specific roles? Not dinner roles, but ROLES. like you and I have those too. Like he bakes brownies. He's become the brownie baker, but she's like in charge of all the other things.
Most of them, yeah.
We have things like that.
Like sweet potato casserole. Like,
yeah.
that reminds me of my childhood home, and it reminds me of Thanksgiving. And I'm right. Let's just keep talking about food.
I know, right? This is going to be a long episode. I remember, so the first time I came to your house to meet your family, meet your whole
Is that
family,
when
and we weren't even dating.
Is that when I told you that
Yes.
my grandfather doesn't like redheads?
Yes, and it was a joke.
And I said, I have a wig for you in the back.
And I'm like, well, he can get over it.
That's funny. Yeah, you were coming over for a birthday
Love you,
celebration.
Papa Kane, but you can get over that.
You were coming over to our house to celebrate a birthday celebration for
Yeah,
multiple
and we
people and
weren't
the
even
birthdays.
dating, and they I don't remember what it was. I
We
just
started
remember there
dating
was
3 hours
broccoli.
later.
I remember there was broccoli.
Oh,
And I don't know if I had ever had a fresh vegetable in my life.
no, that's so
Everything
sad.
came from a can, and the only thing that vegetable we ate was green beans, corn, and peas. And I didn't eat corn and peas, so the only vegetable I ever ate was green beans. I had never had fresh broccoli, and so it's like
That's so
your
sad.
mom's like behind me in line, and I'm like getting food, and I'm like, I put one piece of broccoli, and I was like, I was always told to at least try everything at least once, to not be rude. And I just keep going down the line. I'm like, never had broccoli before, but I'm gonna try it because I don't want to be rude.
You never had broccoli.
Not until 19 years old. Yeah,
That's so wild.
right.
Well, I remember you saying that. Now that you say that, I remember that
I
moment.
remember just like,
And you liked it. You really liked it.
Yeah, I
You're
was like,
this is
oh,
what broccoli
this
is.
is good. I don't know why I've been running from this my whole life. Not running from it, just not exposed to it.
Right.
So I want our listeners and viewers to tell us what are the foods connected to memories for you, because this has been, I feel, a very vibrant conversation, and I would love to continue this conversation with people listening and watching this. So please head over to our Substack and leave a comment on this post.
Here's another one. I like that. I want to hear from him too.
Okay.
Because I get it. I get invigorated. The same mall
That's
that
a good
I
word,
alluded to
invigorated.
earlier with the Cinnabon also had a movie theater attached. Like the movie theater was inside the mall. You didn't have to go through any extra doors or anything like that. You just, all of a sudden, you walk into the movie theater. Now, why am I associating that with food? Because you would smell the popcorn.
In the mall?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And that became like, that would be like a snack that we would want. Like when you're leaving the mall, you could go get a bag of popcorn. But I actually have a lot of food related to the mall because we would eat my other, maybe that was a thing. Like we'd go to the mall and like, as part of punishment
my-
or something, or like your reward for going shopping with your parent, you would get a snack. Like we would go
You
get a Great
are-
American cookie.
That was a memory that fell off the cliff. We would go to the mall for meals.
Meals too.
Because Chick-fil-A,
Yeah, food
especially
court. You
because
get free samples.
they used to not have Chick-fil-A, like standalone
Ooh, they
Chick-fil-A's.
didn't. It was only in the
Chick-fil-A's were
mall.
only in the mall. And if you wanted Chick-fil-A, which we did, we would go to the mall.
Yeah. Food court was the thing.
I just said that was a memory that fell off the cliff.
Yeah, they don't know that
And
reference.
that's
That's
something.
an inside out reference.
That's a reference we use in our house all the time because
Bing bong.
Bing Bong falls off the memory cliff. And
Which means what?
he's going to be forgotten forever.
So when you use this
So
phrase,
when I
these are
say-
things that you have forgotten forever, and what just
they came
happened
back
is
off the
I
cliff.
brought it back up.
Yes. So I say that all the time. Oh, that was
was on the
almost
cliff?
off the cliff.
That was on the
That
cliff
was
or it was
off
over?
the cliff. You brought that back from the cliff. I feel like it's time to pull a question
From the sack of something.
Oh, makes me giggle. That makes me giggle. So
Get
much.
down to the catfish
Oh.
hut.
You go today. Pulling a question from the sack of something. What is the question?
What is your favorite food?
Stop it. No, it doesn't. That's not it.
What is your favorite color?
No, it does not ask that.
It does not. What are you more afraid of? Failure or success? Why?
Is that really the question?
That really is the question.
Oh,
What are you more afraid of? Failure or success? Why?
we're going to add an E to this episode. Oh, shit. Because I think about this frequently. I feel like I am stuck in the middle of both of those. Like I am afraid to fail, but then sometimes if I'm absolutely honest with myself, I am scared to succeed because I feel because no, wait, maybe it's failure. Maybe because it's failure is because I'm afraid I won't have the capacity to succeed. So therefore I'm afraid of success, which is like, and I talked about this on Instagram recently, actually, about nervous system regulation. And so often we want to go from 0 to 60 and, go from working at home on your own projects to extreme, but starring in a Broadway show.
Right.
And I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying like the amount of nervous system regulation and energetic budgeting that it would take to go from here to here is, I can't imagine how immense that is. And so I look at my life now, and if I were to think about like an end goal that I would want, which sure, I would want to write a play or be in a play or musical, shoot, on Broadway. Like the idea of succeeding of that scares the shit out of me at this point in my life. So that just means to have this end goal in like here, but you have to take the next step in front of you to do the next thing that could get you closer to that goal. And so like I wrote a Substack about this recently about taking risks in low stakes spaces. And so that's the sort of stuff that I'm doing, right? And so am I more afraid of success or failure? I think the root of it is I'm afraid of failure, but I'm afraid of success because I'm afraid to fail. I feel like that concludes my thoughts. I know I have more thoughts and feelings about it, and I could keep talking about it, but they're not.
You weren't prepared for this.
They're not
question.
formulated.
Right.
This-
Internal process.
This is going to be one of those things where next episode I'm going to be like, okay, I've thought about this more and I have more to say about it. So, but this is a theme in my life that I think about, that I feel through all the time. All the time. What about you?
You're incredible.
Thanks.
You are.
Thank you. You're pretty awesome yourself.
Well, thank you. All right.
Nope. Nope. It's your turn, my man.
Next time on
Nope.
The Dishes Can Wait.
Your turn. Let's go.
I got to do some dishes.
Nope. Okay. The dishes can wait.
Okay.
What are you more afraid of, failure or success, and why?
This is a vulnerable question.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
Okay.
It's just you and me here.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. It's just you and me. So I was thinking, I had my answer kind of formulating immediately right before you started talking. Right? Because that's how my brain works. And so I immediately said failure. Right. I'm afraid to fail. Then you have the, like, are you afraid, or are you afraid of success? Right. And in reality, I think I've accepted, and like in it, when I'm in a lower space or in a lower health space, I do feel like a failure a lot of the times.
Like a mental health space.
Yeah, when I'm in a lower mental health space, I do feel like a failure a lot. And so it doesn't necessarily feel like I'm afraid to do that because I've already done it. The idea of success feels overwhelming. On one hand, because that feels like too much notoriety. Like, if you mean whatever success means, what does success mean? Right?
Yeah, it is specific to each individual person.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. Like let's just use this podcast for example. Right. If like all of a sudden overnight we had 4 million listeners, like.
Right, which is what I'm saying, like nervous system regulation. Yeah, that some level of success
It's a
means
lot of
being
people at the
seen.
table. It's a lot of people at the table. Now bring them, right? Bring them.
We're gonna need a bigger table.
But I'm not used to having that many people know who I am.
Yeah.
And so it's just a plus part of that's about my own Enneagram number as well. Going, do I have enough to say? Like, do I have like enough to be a part of that conversation? Right. I can facilitate that conversation, but do I have enough to add to it? And so it's a loaded question. Because in reality, I don't think about, am I afraid to do either one? I think this is what I'm doing.
Which seems we can tie back into the very beginning of this episode.
Right. Creativity
About
in your
the well,
process.
it's not the creativity question, but the being very present in the moment
Right.
with where you are in life is the same thing that you said from the beginning.
Yeah, I want to. That is what I want, right? Like I don't. I try not to spend a whole bunch of time going, well, what does it look like if I fail? Because, like I said, I feel like there are many areas that I failed in my life. Many areas that I've failed, right? That doesn't mean that I've stayed there, but there are many areas that I feel like I've failed. And the battle is like, do you? I think a lot of people probably struggle with this. Like a lot of the failures I put on myself, and a lot of the successes I put on a lot of people.
Like you attribute them to other people.
Not just other people. I'm a part of that,
Okay.
but I don't necessarily attribute everybody else to the failures.
Oh.
Right. So the
okay.
failures are on me. The successes are on all of us.
Gotcha.
Right.
Gotcha.
So like, go back to that. If millions, I go, absolutely, you're a part of this. It's going to be like, right. Like you deserve
Yeah.
all the good things, all the wonderful things.
But if it were to fail, you'd be like, it's all my fault.
It's not like I'm not choosing that. That's my default.
Your default, right?
My default is to be like, I could have done something else, or I should have done this, or I should have done that. Or fill in the blank on that
Yeah.
on that capacity. So
I think failure is such a nuanced word.
it is. So is success, like we just said.
Right. But we think of, I mean, I was thinking of success in very specific terms for what it means for me exactly. But then you're sitting here talking about failure, and I'm like, well, failure is so nuanced. It's like, it's not always like black and white. For example, like I just got a rejection from a place that didn't accept my work. And do
Right.
I feel like that's a failure? No. I feel like I succeeded because I was vulnerable to show my work. So I think
Right.
it's like the
Do you think it's
perspective.
both though? Like
I
we
think
can
it's
hold both together.
I think it's no, because I
Okay.
I did what I the only thing I was in control of is the work that I did and then submitting it. And I did the work and I submitting it. That's success to me. Everything else is outside of my control.
True.
And so why would I want to call something outside of my control failure towards myself?
True.
Right? And so I think
Well, that one may be
like
more about acceptance and rejection as opposed to failure.
well, also I think failure, and I don't mean to diminish you or anyone listening to this. I don't mean to diminish the feelings of failure, whatever that feels or looks like from whatever circumstances. But also I think it's and I don't mean this to sound any sort of positive or spiritual bypass, because feel the feelings you have to feel. Also, like our thoughts also lie to us. So like be intentional to remember that even through this is the weird part, like the tension we hold as humans, right? But I think like we can take something that we would consider a failure and turn it into success by learning from
That's
it.
true.
And so I guess like this is I'm just
Well, that's like the idea.
I'm
I
just
said,
thinking about how ironic this is for me to say, and my like work with perfectionism, and I do feel like a failure. So I mean, I've had this conversation with you just within the last week about how I feel like a failure in
I
certain
have
ways.
too. I've had the same
Right?
thing with you.
But
Right.
it's like, and we have sat with each other and allowed each other to have that time and that space, and we have also helped pick each other up
True.
and remind us of like the lessons to be learned, and like we pick up and move on and learn from it. And so it is this weird tension.
Well, that's what I mean by not staying with it, right? When I say that I
Yeah.
failed, I'm not going, oh, I failed in like Eeyore. I
Yeah.
don't mean that. But like there have been things I failed at, right? That doesn't make me a failure, but I like it
Yeah.
is kind of black and white. Have you failed or have you not? Right?
Yeah.
In certain areas. That's a difference between like this one nuanced thing, I failed this test versus Aaron's a failure. Those are not the same thing.
Right. There are like data things like
Right. Like
you make a certain grade, you failed the test.
correct, but that doesn't make Aaron a failure, right?
Right.
And so that's where the identity piece of that comes in. So when I say I
You're
failed a
right.
lot, that's not me going, I'm so
You're right. There is a difference between the data and then taking it on as an
right.
identity.
No.
Okay.
But at the same time, what you're talking about, though, I do think this idea of failure success, I do think that like there is like this probably ethos that you and I grew up with that success is not what you're supposed to have.
So you're supposed to sacrifice yourself.
Suffer and sacrifice. And so I do think there is like that ethos is part of that. I do think there is a piece that there is a part that we have to prepare for success where we're already prepared to fail. I think we do need to prepare to succeed.
Right. Yeah.
So
What
did we answer the question?
I think we did. Like I was talking about nervous system regulation to prepare for success. What sort of things is there anything that you have in mind to prepare for success?
I mean, some of it's your own cognitive biases and your cognitive framing and the things that you're telling yourself, right? Like, I am worthy of success. I am worthy of love. I am worthy of good things, as opposed to, this is just not going to turn out, or here we go again, right? Like, so I do think some of that is a reframing of your own worth.
Yeah.
So
That's
a lifelong journey, but
it is a lifelong journey, and it's Aaron had to remind me this week that I am worthy of good things. And when I was feeling my feelings, and he just like stopped and was like, you are worthy of good things. And I just did not realize that's what I was holding on to. And just hearing it, it broke me, and in a good way. And I was like, you know what? I did not realize how deeply ingrained it is in me that I don't deserve good things.
Right.
That it takes intentional reminders, not just from yourself, but from the people who love you around you, to remind you that you're worthy of good things. And so I think that's a lovely place to end. We can remind our listeners and viewers that you are worthy of good things.
worthy of love, worthy of acceptance.
In case you needed that reminder today.
I think we all can use that reminder every day.
Every day. Yeah. You could even write it on your arm in Sharpie, like I did, to have it in front of me for a little bit. So thank you, everyone, for listening or watching, and we will see you for the next one. Thank you so much for being here and listening. If you enjoyed this conversation, follow the show and subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify so you never miss an episode. You can also join the conversation and subscribe to our Substack, or follow us on social media. You can find all those links and everything we're up to at thedishescanwait.com. We'll see you next time on the Dishes Can Wait podcast.